Good afternoon. Thanks for being here today. I'm joined with Ray Murphy, the mayor of Fort Myers Beach, and to my right, the Brevard County Sheriff, Wayne Ivey. Search and rescue teams have been out countless hours, straight through the night, nonstop, with over 800 rescues. That's huge. That's 800 people that we were able to touch that were in desperate need of help. Our death toll is at 54. As we continue this rescue, there are challenges. And our EOC has made a decision with Fort Myers Beach to close the beach to residents. And the reason being is we need to access what were roads and now rubble. We need to be able to get that equipment in to make certain that we are preserving, not only rescuing, but preserving crime scenes. I know there are a lot of people that are upset by that, but we have to make certain that we, collectively as a team, do it right the first time, because we get one chance. When someone is deceased, we have to make sure that we collect that evidence. We have to do it properly. We cannot contaminate the scene. And the last thing that we need is other people being in the way of that, or for their safety being in an unsecured place where they could get hurt. Our focus is on life-saving, law enforcement, and most important, maintaining law and order in the county. I briefly stated and touched on looting. Look, folks, we took a horrific hit here. It's heartbreaking. We have residents that have lost everything. In hours, have nothing. No clothes, no housing, nothing. And it's heartbreaking. But I will tell you this with certainty. When I say zero tolerance, I mean zero tolerance. We are out in full force. We have quadrupled the number of law enforcement that's on the streets, with our National Guard being deployed all over the islands, the barrier islands, and in Pine Island specifically. We're not going to tolerate any type of looting. And I also make a quick statement and tell you that if someone makes that grave mistake and they choose to loot, they might be able to walk into someone's home. They might. But they will be carried out. I ain't playing games. We aren't playing games. We have sheriffs from all over the state of Florida. The sheriff himself of different departments that are here aiding and assisting to make certain we don't have that. We have 8 urban search and rescue teams. This is not just a cursory search. This is a very tedious. We have to go to every single residence, find exactly where that residence is or was, and go through rubble to make certain that heavy equipment are not coming in, and God forbid, removing rubble if there is evidence, if there is a God forbid, a deceased person in that rubble. And we have to be certain about that. We have over 100 National Guard members that are being deployed specifically to Pine Island. And I'm proud to tell you, with the assistance of our great Governor Ron DeSantis, as of this morning at 0700 hours, we are working with FDOT to begin the construction of a temporary gravel bridge to get people on and off the island. These are very, very challenging times. When we first came out after the storm, we had thousands of calls holding, up to almost 4,000 calls holding. I'm proud to tell you that as of this morning, we've handled those calls and we are back to the normal operation of business and a new normal, okay? When you have thousands of calls holding, we prioritize those. But I'm glad that, and I'm happy to say that because of all my fellow brothers and sisters in law enforcement and everyone here, both local, state, and federal, we have been able to get back to handling our operating calls at a normal rate. We're doing everything we can possible at every level with all the key players and decision makers, not only for law and order, but making very difficult decisions that sometimes people don't agree with. And I want to send another message out to the people that don't. These are challenging times, to say the very least. There's way too much hate. How about if you're upset, get out and do something productive and nice. Instead of bashing, instead of being out there spreading negativity, take that energy and walk next door and clean up debris on your neighbor's lawn. Go help someone, give water out to people that are in need, or food. Be a good person, because if everyone does that together, okay, we move forward in a much faster rate and the best we ever have. I'm certain, while we have taken a catastrophic hit here, I don't minimize that. We haven't seen devastation like this. We're standing, 60 yards away from a 100-foot boat that's thrown into a vehicle in the mangroves like it's nothing. We don't have immediate answers, but together as a team, we get those answers, and we make the right educated choices and decisions for safety and security and what's best for the residents of this county and the state. What I am certain of is that in closing, we will be better than ever. It's going to be a lengthy process. As sheriffs, we like to press a button and we fix what's wrong. Unfortunately, I can't do that. There's nothing I can say in words to bring loved ones back or to help someone get back into their home. It's going to be a process. But I'm certain during this process, we're going to move forward. And times like this is when people from all over, no matter what their differences are, this is not political. It doesn't matter who you are. This is being a good human being. And this is working hard and confidently moving forward with the choices and decisions that are made, because Lee County residents and the state of Florida have great residents. And that we are going to move together as a team to be the best we've ever been. We will regroup, we will rebuild, because that's what this country is, and that's why this is the best country in the world. We're going to be the best we can be moving forward. It's going to be a process. I appreciate you, and as the sheriff, I stand with all of you here, committed. The men and women out there 24/7 from all over, I've never seen such great attitudes in my life. As I walk around and get to talk to the people that have been out there working tirelessly around the nights from all over the states, who've left their loved ones behind. And sometimes they were in the middle of the aftermath of this storm, but just didn't face the devastation like this. They're all saying thank you and thanking us for being here. What a blessing is that for people to come from all over when that bell rings to come help us here in Lee County. I can't say thank you enough, again, to the people that have been out there, the public outreach and continuous people that want to help. And also the best way to help is try to keep the roadways clean. Try to stay off the roadways if possible, because we need everything. We're running lights and sirens to get to different missions. And the quicker we can get to these missions and move forward, the quicker we can recover. It's a blessing to serve all of you. I'll take some questions. So we've had 3 different cases of looting, and I will tell you it was very swift. We are not tolerating that at all. And I want to, 1, say that we've ended that by arrest. And two, I mention it because I want to really educate those people. I call them undesirables. The people that, they thrive on going after people when they're down. Well, I can tell you in this county, not from the air, not from the sea, and not from anywhere. Okay? We have law and order here, and I stand with my residents firm with law and order. And specifically, you go into someone's house who just got hit by a catastrophic hurricane, who have belongings and pictures and things that are irreplaceable. Okay, you don't get to take advantage of great people. That 0.1%, you go in that house, you're going to be carried out. I want to be very clear about that. We have law and order. Next question. Yes, sir. So at the very beginning, people that are unaccounted for, we talk about that. We had over 3,800 calls that we're holding, and the majority were welfare checks. communication was down. And we know that even law enforcement had a very difficult time communicating because we weren't able to. But we've been working, the governor's been working with FPL, working with AT&T and all the providers to get those towers up immediately. And we've seen a huge benefit to that. It's unknown how many people are still missing, if they are, but that's why it's so critical for us to eliminate that traffic there, because we don't want someone going into, one, a place that's unsafe, or two, a place that's a potential crime scene, okay, where we have possibly someone is deceased in rubble. We need to go through that process properly the first time because we get one chance. The death toll is up to 54. That's 54 more than I ever want to talk about here. But once we start going through this rubble, we're going to start making heads or tails. And I can tell you, I have people still calling things in saying they're looking for loved ones. And my heart's with them because, a lot of times, and I pray to God it's communication, but sometimes it's not. So that's unknown exactly, but I can tell you we're working hard. And I'm confident in the next few days as this keeps unfolding, we're going to go from that search, rescue, recovery, slightly into the maintain and rebuild. And as those numbers change, I'm going to continuously brief you every day. And I think it's important to touch on this. I want to bring you information, one, that's vetted and factual. And two, I want to do that as fast as possible every day because there are so many people that want answers. And I understand and agree with that. I just want to keep bringing that information to you as soon as possible so that everyone that's watching knows what's going on. Most difficult part about the search and rescue is that it's rubble, and we have to identify a personal property. I mean, when things are washed away to the point where you can't identify a property, we have to identify the parcel. Now, we're working with our city, the beach mayor. We're working with our fellow brothers in the sheriff's office to identify those property with the teams and then see exactly what we have. And it's a very, it's tiresome. It's time consuming. You can't just walk in, check a building and leave. It's rubble. It's making certain that no one's under that rubble, God forbid. So it's quite a challenge, but it's a challenge that we're up for, and we're doing it every day, and we're making great. And folks, I want to also reiterate, I know the hit we took, and we all do, but we are making progress every single day here, every single day. While it might not look like it when you see a 100-foot yacht thrown in the mangroves, there's still tons of cleanup, and I'm not minimizing that. But we are making progress every day, sir.
Sheriff, I want to ask you, you said 800 rescues, which is a huge number. It raises the question, did the evacuation order work, and should it have been issued sooner?
I said this yesterday, and a lot of people, and of course the press likes to make some kind of controversy as to, well, could you have done it better? Could you have done it sooner? I'm going to tell you this. We were not in the cone. These storms are very unpredictable, okay? And people have to listen. You live in a place like Florida that is susceptible to hurricanes. This storm was supposed to go up to the Tampa sheriff, who I spoke to hours before it turned and hit us. I am confident in our county manager, our leaders, our governor, all of us in law enforcement, that we got that message out at the right time. Now, whether people listen to it, we can't force people out of their homes, but we can continuously say, look, mandatory evacuation, and some people have family that live across the East Coast. Okay, those family members came here because they said, oh, the storm's going to go hit Tampa. It's going to go. They all came here, and Mother Nature taught us a lesson. It's unpredictable, but I'm confident in the decisions that were made. And like I said yesterday, stand by them, and I wouldn't change anything. Next question.
Mayor, can we hear from you on that, sir?
One second on the second one, I'm sorry. I'll do the first one first. So, okay. Okay, you're good. So at the EOC, okay, I can't give you information I don't know or we don't know. We have, well, Well, let me get to that. Okay, I know you want your thirst to be first. You want to have answers, and I get it. But I'm going to tell you, we're not going to give you information that's, one, not vetted and factual just because you want it. I'm going to tell you that it's a process. And some people are not happy with that process, and that's too bad on them. When someone has a loved one, God forbid, in rubble, like we're looking at here, okay? Well, there's a proper way to give that family and that loved one the respect they deserve, and what absolutely we have to do. We have one chance to go in there, maintain a crime scene, and remove that body properly. I don't know if there's one person in here or 5. Now, as we compile that, and as the boots on the ground relay that information to the EOC, simultaneously, the decision makers are sitting with FEMA, sitting with everybody, making and changing our direction every single minute, every hour, and reevaluating, reassessing to assure that we have the right tools on the ground to assess and do our job. That's why that number is unpredictable, because it can change as we go through. If you go into a building and we see we have 2 deceased, it's relatively easy to understand how to investigate it and how to close it out. When you go into rubble and or buildings that are not existent, it makes it a real challenge, and that's why there's a delay, and we have to deliver factual information.
For the folks that are anxious to get home, I know you're closing the beach. Do you have a timeline, any sense of how long you guys need to do that kind of work?
So again, every single day we're making progress. So for the folks that live on the beach that want to get to their home, I understand that, and I want to get them back as soon as possible. People have photo albums. They have a home. It's their life, and their life's been ripped away from them in a matter of minutes or hours or days. So my heart is with them. I just ask them, be as patient as possible. Right now, we're still in that search and rescue mode. Over 800 rescues. Folks, that's unbelievable. When you look at the catastrophic hit that we took and where we are now and the progress that's made, it's huge. So I want to focus on some of the positive things and the progress every day, because I do know we're going to build and be better than ever. But to those folks, I say to them, I understand, I'm with you. Just give us the patience, because right now we're still looking for lives and people that need to be rescued. And, unfortunately, sometimes this death toll is going to go up, and we pray that it doesn't. Again, we have 54 deaths. If I had my way, I'd never say there's one. Okay, but we got hit hard. And in closing, I'll assure you a few things. One, we are going to pull together as we always do, and we are going to make certain that we move forward better than ever. I'm going to assure law and order at every level, utilizing our local, state, and federal partners. Sheriffs, my brother sheriffs from all over the state are coming in to help. And as a sheriff who's in charge of the law and order and safety and security, that takes a lot of weight off your shoulders to know that the help is here. Boots on the ground. And we're going to have law and order. And again, we don't have an issue, but I want to reiterate, and I want to be crystal clear. You walk into someone's house and you try to prey on someone who just took a hit like this, I can guarantee you, as the sheriff, you will walk in, you will be carried out. I ain't playing. Thank you for being here.